minute. Welcome back to Yirara.
What up? Welcome back. Today's word of the day is
Ilpa, meaning is.
make sure to practice.
Saying Ilpa, meaning is. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Ilpa.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Now remember how we were talking about the different units we use to measure how long or how high something is? Do you remember some of those units? Well, we introduced centimeters and meters, which might be ones that you guys are most familiar with. Now, the other two that we're going to elaborate on today is your millimeters and your kilometers. Those are other words and other measurements that we measure how long or how tall something is, depending if it's small or if it's really big. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. Now millimeters is very tiny. So if we take our ruler again, which measures 30 centimeters, we can look on the other side and it shows us that 30 centimeters is the exact same as 300 millimeters. What would I use to measure a millimeter? Now, millimeters are often used in the building industry. So for tradies or builders or engineers, and they need to get everything just perfect. So that's why they use millimeters. My husband is a carpenter, and when he's talking about how long or tall something is, he'll tell me how long it is in millimeters, not centimeters. The other method of measuring length or how high something is on the opposite side, and that is called kilometers. Now, a kilometer is very long. You've maybe heard about it when you're talking about how far something is from you. For example, it is roughly 1,500 kilometers from Alice Springs to Darwin, which means it's a long ways away. Now, you might have remembered learning last time when we were talking about weight, how kilo actually stands for 1,000. Now, if I put kilometer in the same word, so does anybody have any idea of how many meters go into a kilometer or a kilometer? You guessed it, 1,000. So if I say that something is a kilometer away, another way I could say it is it's 1 meter away. And that's the 4 ways that we use to measure distance, height or length.
Welcome back to numeracy. This week, or this lesson, we're going to be looking at length and distance. On Saturday, myself and Anne-Marie were on our drive to Borroloola to come and see the students and work up there for a week. So we're looking at how far it is from Alice Springs to our stops all the way up. So our first stop is going to be Alice Springs to Tea Tree. So what we're going to work on is the distance to get there, what we're going to measure it in, meters and kilometers. Can you remember how many meters are in a kilometer? Yes, 1,000 in 1 kilometer. We write kilometers like this for short, so I don't have to keep writing out like that. So km equals 1,000 meters, and I'll write meters just with an N.
People, as you can see, I'm an Oreo again for the last time. I'm going to miss this Oreo, but okay, I've dealt with it. We've come to the last part of our Oreo, our last opinion. Now, restating our opinion, how does that work? For this, you need a specific set of vocabulary. Now, Miss Deb went over it just the other day. So let us see the words and the phrases she used. First one was, for this reason. For this reason, I am convinced. For this reason, I believe. For this reason, I know. And lastly, for this reason, I am sure. Now, again, how do we use it? How does it sound when we have a debate, when we have a conversation, when we have an argument like Marvel versus DC? Let's have a listen and a look at what the teachers said when they had the debate and the discussion on which is better, cats versus dogs, Marvel versus DC. Let's have a listen.
That's why I'm convinced that dogs are better than cats. That's why I'm sure that dogs are better than cats. And for this reason, for all those reasons, I believe dogs are way better than cats.
That's why I'm convinced that both the Marvel and the DC franchise are very beneficial and very entertaining to people of all different ages.
Yeah, that is the reasons why I love dogs so much.
Right, what did we notice, what did we hear in all of Miss Rebecca, Miss Sandra and Mr. Paul's conversations? That they restated their opening opinion. They said, for this reason, I believe cats are better than dogs. Or in Miss Sandra's idea, she said, for this reason, I believe. And she had a lot of emotion. Dogs are awesome and much better than cats. Miss Rebecca didn't really help me in my confusion of DC and Marvel. She was like, for this reason, I think both of them are the same, but she restated her opening opinion. And this, my people, is me signing off as Miss Oreo. Enjoy writing persuasively or convincing your family about something. Bye-bye.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us for one of my favourite Bible stories. Before we have a look at the story, let's pray.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this amazing day that you have given us. I thank you for each and every single one of our students as well as their family, Lord, and I pray that you protect them. I pray for Chris and her team as they share your word. I pray that you would be able to touch each and every single one of our hearts through the screen, and I pray that you would just carry us through this day, keep us safe, and that we'll be blessed. In your name I pray, amen.
Thanks for joining us for one of my favourite Bible stories. It's a story about people choosing to ignore God. They think they know better and they start to do things their own way, without God. How does God fix it up? Let's read the story of Noah and the flood from Genesis chapter 6. One day, God looked down on the world he had created and saw how greedy, mean, and violent the people had become. He was mad and said, "I'm sorry I made people. I will get rid of them." There were some things God wanted to save. he'd need the help of someone brave. God saw that Noah was different. Noah walked with God. He was good and kind. God asked Noah to build an ark. He gave him all of the measurements. He made it long and tall and wide, with room for 2 of each creature inside. Mrs. Noah collected seed from every flower, tree and weed. Noah had 3 sons, Shem, Ham and Japheth. They brought food for one and all. Their wives packed more and piled it tall. Just in time the job was done. The family all got on the boat, one by one. Then the animals came in, 2 by 2. The frogs leaped over a kangaroo. The peacock and his hen, and the fleas rode in on the chimpanzees. The wild animals and the reptiles too, pushing and squeezing to get in the door. The teeny tiny insects, the busy bees and the beautiful butterflies all found a place. And in came the farm animals, the cows, the zebras, the pandas and penguins, all in a mix. But wait, there's more. The crocodiles and snakes, the rhinos, flamingos and foxes too. The cuddly kittens, the ferocious lions, the spotty leopards and the stripy tigers all came to the ark. The polar bears, the prickly porcupines, the cheeky monkeys and the long-legged ostriches all came to get on board. All the creatures, big and small, the slow ones and the fast ones too, creatures from every part of the world, all came 2 by 2. Then Noah shut the door, and down came the rain. The sky had sprung so many leaks that whales swam over mountain peaks. For 40 days and nights it poured. Inside the ark the animals snored. One happy day the rain stopped. The bats hung upside down in the sun, and the rooster crowed. Noah said to the crow, "Fly, try to find a place that's dry." A week went by and Noah sent another bird. The dove came back with an olive leaf. "I think I'll go and build a nest." Noah gave thanks to God, opened the door and lowered the planks. With a hoot and a squawk, a squeak and a bark, the animals all tumbled off the ark. God placed a rainbow in the sky as a sign that after rain the sun will shine. A reminder of the promise that God will never again send a flood to destroy the earth. And God told them to live and grow in peace. Next time you see a rainbow in the sky, remember that God keeps his promises. God kept Noah and his family safe. God has a plan for your life. He wants the very best for you. Until next time, stay safe and look after your family.
Comfort, comfort all my people with the comfort of my word.
G'day, Mr. J. What's happening?
Nothing much. Just watching paint dry.
I love travelling. Where are we off to next?
Somewhere up north with beautiful scenery.
That's great, man. That sounds like Jilkminggan.
That's the place.
I'd love to go see their community. I've never been there before, but I heard it's a great community with a lot to offer.
I heard the same thing.
What do you reckon? Should we get started?
Let's go!
Well, Mr. J, have you got your bags packed?
Ready to take some good shots.
Alright everyone, let's all get on board. Make sure you fasten your seatbelts. Let's go.
Hey everyone, Miss Tiffany here. I'll be your tour guide for today. Let's learn something new about Jilkminggan. Jilkminggan is on the riverbanks of the Roper River, southeast of Katherine in the Northern Territory. Aboriginal people worked on Elsie Station, a cattle station, until 1974, when they were moved off it as the station couldn't afford to pay everyone. They were given this little bit of country to establish the community. Let's have a look at all of the wonderful things happening in Jilkminggan. Aboriginal education is a way of life.
What we do is, with this remote school attendance strategies, there's a whole package of strategies we use to try and get the kids to school, and probably at the positive end, we've got rewards, quite a few rewards, and this is one of them. We've had 11 students who over the last 11 weeks have had 100% attendance, and their reward for that attendance will be to go on a little boat trip. Obviously they live on the river, but no one in the community actually owns a boat, so for them to go out on a boat is a really big thing. So we use that as a reward for those kids that are attending, and that's done with the local ranger group, Indigenous ranger group.
See, I go to school all day. Can from Monday to Friday, all the way. When I begin to say, I go college. I come back, learn more from college, come back, get a job, see, like me. Want to go across?
Yeah, it's had a pretty big impact at Jilkminggan. Primarily, it's increased our attendance, which was one of the goals, obviously. But secondly, it helped the school develop a lot better connections with the community.
Like you go quite far away, then you go back to your own culture. Say, like me, when I went to school, I went to quite far away back, then I got back from college, and I went to our culture then. Why am so important, Bema, for going to school? For learn, and let good thing will do I. Walk around a day, every day I attend in the school, like we do like that every day. You can go around, but do, but it's range somewhere. They attended the school at the education, they go there, they come back, they can go to ceremony, about business, culture, they start learning about it. Every day, see, I'm going to school, come and learn. Real proud of this, kids.
Today we are going to read from a book, a story from Jilkminggan. Sharing Our Story by Sheila Conway and Jessie Roberts. We've got to carry on the stories and not lose our culture. It's like history. It's important to tell all the kids so they can know the story. They know which story goes for which country. People know where they come from if they know their story. Otherwise, they could be just wandering around not knowing anything.
Jilkminggan, what beautiful country. I got it right here with these fantastic snaps I took. What have you got in your country?
What do you see when you look around your community? Take a photo and upload them. We'd all love to see them.
And I'm taking a few snaps.
Listen, I don't know.
Wait, what do I say again?
Yeah, that's the place.
You're about to say that's the place, like.
Hey, how's it going everybody in Yirara2u land on ICTV? Welcome back to the Clontarf kitchen. Unfortunately, your host and your chef is Dan Toner today, so it might not be as gourmet as Bomber's breakfast, and I haven't got Alonzo, my head chef, to help me, so I'm just going to have to work it out as I go along. Beautiful setting out here, the Field of Dreams, home of the Yirara Brumbies. Can't wait till we're running around out there again, fellas. In the meantime, this is a pretty healthy snack that you can cook up for a couple of people wherever you've got a barbecue. I did do a little bit of cheating. I cooked my rice in the rice maker indoors, and I brought that out with me. But the rest of it is all for the barbecue. So if Stan, the man behind the camera, wants to come in and have a look at what we've got here. In terms of equipment, we've just need our tongs, a bit of an egg flipper, and a knife to cut up the bacon. In terms of the ingredients, a bit of oil to keep the barbie nice and sizzly, a bit of sweet chili for flavouring. You might want to use soy sauce, but Stan prefers a bit of sweet chili, so that's what we're going for today. We have got frozen peas and corns, which you can get from the shop, out of the freezer. And then Stan's just been out the back and grabbed a few googie eggs from the cluckers. So I'm gonna put a bit of oil on the barbie first. We've already got the barbie fired up, and I'm gonna get the bacon going. I think this meal will turn out being pretty good meal for maybe 2 hungry blokes and 3 moderately hungry blokes. If it's only lunch for a couple of you, or a bit of a Friday afternoon fry-up, then what we've got here should be pretty good. On another part of the barbecue, oh, is it sizzling, Stan? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the rice on. Now the rice is already cooked. You could eat it straight away like that, but by putting it onto the barbie, we're just going to get it a little bit crispy and crunchy, so it feels nice to eat in your mouth. So I'm just going to pop it straight on. It's starting to smell good, and I'm a vegetarian. I might put a little bit more oil through, just so sizzling nice and hot. Alright, so we've got our bacon on, which we'll cut up into smaller pieces. We've got our rice on, which is going to form the main part of the meal. That's the stodgy bit that really fills you up, but still tasty. Next thing, the eggs. So I'm going to use another part of the barbecue. A little bit of oil down here. The eggs are actually going to cook pretty quickly, but that's okay, because we don't necessarily want them runny. Like you might like your runny eggs with your bacon. This is more, so like you see in fried rice, we want it a bit more mushed up and thick. Not like a fried egg we might have for breakfast. I'll just give this rice another bit of a shift around, and we'll turn our bacon over. Actually, before I start the eggs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the bacon down into smaller slices, like they're going to be as we eat them. If you are cooking on the barbecue, the smaller stuff cooks a bit faster too. So if you're ever in a rush on the barbecue, whether it's sausages or steak or whatever it might be, if you cut it down a little bit smaller, it'll always cook a little bit quicker. A few chunks here, so I can already see that's cooking a bit quicker now. This can be done on any type of barbecue. So like one of the barbecues, community barbecues, or gas burner that someone's got at home. As long as you've got a bit of a hot plate, you don't have to do them all separately. This is more just for the episode, so it looks cool. All right, sizzle, sizzle. Very good. We'll move on to the eggs, and I'll get them cracked. So this is quite a hot barbecue, so they're cooking very quickly. So what I'm going to do is just fold them into each other, try and crack the yolk, and just keep them moving around. Keep pushing them into each other, and you can see we get that nice scrambled eggs. Now you fellas back at home will know that the king of scrambled eggs is Cyril Rioli, but we couldn't have Cyril today, so you're going to have to settle for Dan eggs, which are not as good. I admit that, first one to admit it, but they'll get the job done. All right, so we've got our 3 cooked elements. We've got the bacon sizzling. That's ready to go. See, you can see what I mean. It cooks really quickly once you cut it down into little bits. We've got our fried rice getting nice and crispy. That's going to be lovely to crunch in the mouth. And now we've got our scrambled eggs too. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bacon. We're going to take our eggs. And we are going to mush. And we're just going to try and combine everything. So you can see already, that's a lovely looking fried rice there. That hasn't even got any sauce in it yet. But you can see how tasty that looks. Next up we had all our frozen peas and corn. And you know, by the time the peas and corn are soft and mushy, then you've got yourself a meal. Come in nice and close, Stan the man. Wrap your eyes on that, everybody. Now don't tell me that that's not a nice, healthy little meal that you can do up for a lunchtime or a dinner, really easy. It's a cool way to use the barbecue. We're used to doing sausages and steaks and hamburgers and all that sort of thing, but you know, really this is just a big frying pan with a fire underneath it. So anything you can do in a frying pan or a wok, you can do on a barbecue. All right, I'm going to finish it off now with the sweet chili and, what do we call it? Sweet chili sauce. Ooh, that's going to sting a bit. We'll stir that through. As I said, if you'd prefer a soy sauce, that's all good too. Entirely up to you. You might prefer tomato sauce or barbecue sauce. Whatever your favourite flavour is, you just incorporate that into the recipe. And there you have it. Clontarf's healthy barbecue fried rice. Let's get this into a bowl and see what Stan the man thinks about it. Thanks everybody. See you next time in the Clontarf kitchen. See you Brumbies.
Good morning.
Welcome back to Yirara.